Hello and welcome to my early Elizabethan England revision video looking at the Spanish Armada. So why did Philip II launch the Spanish Armada? Well, there are a number of factors really. Religion, politics, circumstances of the time, provocation and strategy used by Philip. So first of all, religion. Philip II wanted to get rid of heresy. The papacy wanted Elizabeth overthrown and the Pope promised to forgive the sins of those who took part in the Armada. And Spain and the papacy had backed Catholic plots against Elizabeth I before. Politics as well. The Treaty of Joinville, 1584, and Nonsuch in 1585 are examples of this, and England would have been a useful addition to Philip II's empire. Circumstances played a part too. So Spain had acquired Portugal in 1580, and the Duke of Parma's successes in the Netherlands since 1579 were important as well. And Elizabeth has hesitated in getting involved in the Netherlands, which had suggested weakness. Philip II of Spain had also been provoked by Drake's actions in the New World and by Elizabeth I's support both for Drake and for the Dutch rebels. So what was Philip's strategy? Well, the Armada, with 130 ships, 2,431 guns and 30,000 men, was the largest fleet Europe had ever seen. It was commanded by the Duke of Medina Sidonia, and it would sail along the English Channel to the Netherlands, join up with the Duke of Parma, transport 27,000 men to Kent, march to London, depose Elizabeth, and impose a new Catholic government. But things didn't work out that way. So how did the English defeat the Spanish Armada? There are a number of factors that helped the English to win. First of all, English ship design. New ships known as galleons were built from the early 1570s. They were easier and faster to manoeuvre. The cannons were mounted on smaller gun carriages and therefore could be fired more quickly. Spanish supplies were also an issue. They were not as good as they could have been. Drake's raid on Cadiz, for example, destroyed so many barrels that new ones had to be made too quickly and of inferior wood, causing food supplies to rot. The Spanish were also low on supplies of cannonballs. The Spanish also encountered planning and communication issues. So Philip II's plan required the Duke of Medina Sidonia to join with Parma, which was a weakness. Firstly, the Duke of Parma did not control any deep sea ports, and so lots of small ships were needed to load the big ships, which took 48 hours. Secondly, communications between Medina Sidonia and Parma were slow and unreliable. For example, the English were ready to attack before Parma knew that Medina Sidonia was waiting in the English Channel. English tactics were really important too. The Armada was spotted in the English Channel on the 29th of July 1588 and opened fire on the 31st of July and captured 2 ships. They chased the Armada from a distance down the English Channel. There were some exchanges of cannonballs which stopped Medina Sidonia from anchoring off of the Isle of Wight and allowed the English to see that they could fire cannonballs more quickly and from further away. So comes the famous Battle of Gravelines on the 8th of August 1588. So the night of the 6th of August, the English fleet sent fire ships in amongst the Spanish fleet, which scattered the Armada. It regrouped and the English engaged them on the 8th of August, but Medina Sidonia was not ready and was defeated and scattered also by the winds. Most of the Spanish ships were destroyed when they tried to return home around the Scottish and Irish coastline. Decision-making therefore also plays a part, so Philip consulted his military advisers, but then seemed to ignore their suggestions, criticisms and concerns, whereas Elizabeth left key decisions to her commanders. So what were the consequences of the English victory? Well, it gave Elizabeth a great propaganda victory, a new portrait was commissioned and a commemorative medal was struck. Elizabeth emphasised that God was on the side of Protestantism. England survived an attack by a more powerful foe. It encouraged Dutch rebels to renew their fight against the Spanish. The Anglo-Dutch alliance became stronger than ever. It also showed the strength of the English navy and gave England more confidence to trade and to explore, and it marked the beginning of a long decline of Spanish fortunes. So in short, why did the Armada fail? Well, English naval tactics, poor communication between the Spanish and Dutch fleets, the Armada was badly supplied, the English ships were superior, the weather played its part, and Elizabeth listened to expert advice.